Jeff Horn versus Terrence Crawford. In this video, I will discuss the key factors of this fight along with my own prediction, so hold out for that. But before I get to that, I want to ask you to do the same. So jump down to the comment section below and make your prediction. Are you predicting Jeff Horn? Are you predicting Terrence Crawford? Let me know, and let me know how you see this fight going. Remember to subscribe to this channel, Boxing Predictions, for all the big fight predictions. So we've got Jeff Horn versus Terrence Crawford, Madison Square Gardens, for the WBO Welterweight Championship of the world. So on one side, we've got the man who shocked the world. He upset all the odds as a huge underdog to beat the future Hall of Fame Manny Pacquiao for the WBO Welterweight title. And on the other side, we've got Terrence Crawford, a boxer many describe as the current pound-for-pound king, a true unified world champion and one of only 4 boxers to hold the 4 major belts along with the ring title simultaneously ever. So for me, this is a huge fight for both guys, and I would say it's possibly the biggest of their careers to date, and I'll explain why. For Horn, a win here gives genuine credibility to his Manny Pacquiao win, whereas a defeat, and that just becomes an unfortunate footnote in the Manny Pacquiao story. Whereas with Crawford, yes, he is a true unified champion, but he's now looking to become a 3-weight world champion. But more importantly, this fight sets up real money fights. You know, real money fights. So the only onus is to look good to get those real money fights. So Crawford, we know he's quick, slick, switch hitting, power puncher who can close the show after outboxing you. Whereas Horn, he's a tough, come forward fighter who's light on his feet, who can close the distance well, brawl, has a decent jab, and he has all the tricks in the book. So in this fight, there are a number of factors that we can discuss to get a better feel of how we feel that this fight will go. So the first thing to discuss is the size difference. Is there going to be a noticeable size difference? Now, a lot of people think that Jeff Horn is a huge welterweight, that he could move up the ranks to other weights. I've even seen people think that Horn could compete at middleweight. That's the difference and the size advantage that he has. But I think in reality, yes, he looked bigger than Manny Pacquiao, but Manny Pacquiao he's a small welterweight. He is a small welterweight. So there was always going to be the size difference there. When we're talking about here, for me, I'm not convinced there's going to be that much of a size difference, because I think I think the size difference in dimensions is going to be minimal. Whether Horn really does pack on the pounds, that's going to be the difference. Is he going to be coming with a weight advantage on fight night? In all probability, yes. He may be more used to gaining a lot more weight, whereas because Crawford is jumping up another weight, he may not inflate to such a significant size. Will it be a problem? Will it be an issue? I don't necessarily think it's a concern in this fight. So the next thing to consider is that Horn will be fighting out of Australia for the very first time. He's had everything his own way to date. He's had the home advantage in all of his fights. How will he deal with that? It's something that's very difficult to comment on, but it's something that needs to be considered. So the experience. We know that Crawford has exceptional experience. 11 world championship fights, whereas Horn, just the 2 He's won the title and he's defended it. He's also fought significantly fewer times. So Crawford does have that big fight experience, and the fact that this is taking place in the USA, I mean, there is that advantage and that disadvantage for Horn, and we have to see whether he can, adapt that. I would expect that, he seems like a very mentally strong performer, and I don't think that will be a problem. But you always have to consider, how they adapt when they go to the USA. In the lead up to the fight, it's going to be a very different situation, and it's something new. Okay, so who has the best win? I mean, this is simple. Jeff Horn has the best win. As I just said a moment ago, Terrence Crawford, 11 championship fights in his career. But Jeff Horn has beaten, whether you like it or agree with it, he has beaten a Hall of Famer and someone regarded as, possibly in the top 5 of this era, or the era of the last 15 years, okay? And that's something to consider. Now, did we learn anything from the Horn-Pacquiao fight? Now, who thought that Jeff Horn won? Let me know in the comment section below if that is the case. I mean, I think most people, other than the hardcore Jeff Horn fans, seem to believe that Manny Pacquiao won the fight, and he won it by a few rounds. I mean, there's a lot of people out there, I remember at the time, that said that Manny Pacquiao, it was a one-sided victory and the scorecards were ridiculous to be in the other direction. Now, despite the fact that the statistics of the fight kind of backed up that opinion, for me, I thought it was a lot closer. I thought it was a lot closer because there was a lot more factors to consider. But despite that, I still went with Manny Pacquiao just by a couple of rounds, but only a couple of rounds, okay? Now, many people say that Manny Pacquiao didn't take it seriously, okay? So there was a lot of factors as to why, possibly Pacquiao didn't just steamroll through it. But having said that, what we need to appreciate and what we know is that Horn was nearly stopped. I mean, he was nearly pulled out. So, Pacquiao did a lot. I mean, we know that Horn is very hittable. He has his head out there. I mean, it's waiting to be hit. He takes punishment. He puts his head in there, and we've seen clashes of heads over and over again with Horn, okay? So, people can only take so much before it gets too much. And, we almost saw that with Horn, but he had a second win. He was able to see out the 12-round distance, okay? So is Horn better than people give him credit for? Because I know there was a lot of people, particularly in the Manny Pacquiao fight, in the lead up, they said didn't deserve the fight against Manny Pacquiao. It was going to be completely one-sided. Even afterwards, as we've just alluded to, a lot of people said it was one-sided. But is he better than people could give him credit for? I would say yes. He is not the slickest, the flashiest of boxers, but what he does do is rugged. He get in your face. He will wear you down, and he's capable of outboxing people and really kind of destroying their will. Okay, so there is the possibility that he can really impart his performance on Terrence Crawford. Whether we'll see it, we have to wait and see. But he did that. But despite that, as the statistics said against Manny Pacquiao was still who should have been winning those rounds, despite the fact that the judges did not agree. So, looking at the odds, there's an overriding favourite here in the fact that Crawford is a 1-12 favourite, whereas Jeff Horn, he gets 13-2 to retain his championship belt. Now, for me, I believe that Terrence Crawford will win this. will become a 3-weight world champion and will become a force in the welterweight division. I think that we'll probably see a fairly similar fight to the Manny Pacquiao fight, in the fact that Horn, you know, he only knows how to fight one way. He will come to fight and he will take it to Crawford. But we know that Crawford, you know, that silky skills, switch hitting, the counter punching ability that he has, I think he will win rounds, and I think he will wear down Horn over time and get that late stoppage. I think he will get the stoppage. So the thing that we need to discuss now is, I've heard this spoken about a few times, you know, does Crawford need to prove himself at 147? A lot of the big names in the division have said that, but does he? I mean, for me, there's yes and there's no. I mean, it's not like he's moving up the division, moving up from divisions and not really accomplished much, or, you know, he's picked up a strap. We're talking about someone who was a true unified champion, you know, a serious player, someone who held all the belts, who cleared out a division before moving up, completely clearing it out, okay? But what we need to appreciate is that in 147, we have a stacked division. No, it's not struggling for talent. You know, there are already multiple champions, all that consider themselves to be the best at this division already, okay? And Crawford's going to come in there, he's going to be joining the party, and, you know, a lot of these guys that are already there, I mean, they want to unify, or there is the opportunity to unify themselves before we even bring Crawford into the mix. So moving forward, do I think that Crawford's going to get any of the other champions next? I think probably not. I don't think he's going to get the Thurman, the Spences. Yeah, I think we won't see Crawford in amongst with those guys probably until next year. But, you know, so what? It doesn't matter. It's nice to have a slow burner, you know, because we've got in that division, there's so many good fights that can happen. So many other guys that are on the, you know, they're on the radar, they're coming through, or they're coming back. You know, we'll see those fights as well. So we have to wait and see how the welterweight division is in the summer. And there's going to be huge fights regardless. So let me know what you think about this. Jeff Horn, Terrence Crawford, who are you picking? Who are you picking? Let me know. How do you see this fight? Jump down to the comment section below and check out all the other videos that we've got on the channel about the big fight predictions, because there's so many big fights happening. Let me know in the comment section below. I'll see you soon.